We are live.
Thank you very much. Good afternoon, everyone. I'd like to call the meeting to order and acknowledge that we're in Treaty 1 territory, the home and traditional lands of the Anishinaabe, Ojibwe, Innu, Cree, and Dakota peoples, and in the national homeland of the Red River Métis. Our drinking water comes from Shoal Lake 40 First Nation in Treaty 3 territory. My name is Lynn Nesbitt, and I'm chairing today's panel. Joining me on the panel are Jerry Arnell and Michelle Duncan. Our assessor today is Abhishek Ratan, and our administrative personnel is Sally Caulfield. To the Zoom participants of the hearing, please note, you are placed in the waiting room until your property is called upon. When it is your turn, you will be admitted into the meeting. Kindly follow along on the City of Winnipeg's Board of Revision YouTube channel for the hearing process. Once the host admits you into the hearing, please close or mute your YouTube player. You will then be permitted to speak with respect to your property. Once your hearing has concluded, you can leave the meeting. We'll be hearing applications for revision of the business assessment role in accordance with the Municipal Assessment Act and the City of Winnipeg Charter. The matters for which revision is requested have been described in each application, and we will limit discussion to those matters. The statements that are made at this hearing are sworn testimony, and anyone speaking to the matters must be sworn in. Be advised that comparisons of assessments of properties are not considered evidence by the Board of Revision. The Board of Revision is appointed annually by Council and is independent of it and the City administration. It makes its decisions on the basis of the evidence provided at this hearing and issues a written order that will be mailed to all parties as soon as possible. Please note that the Board's decisions with respect to an application may be appealed to the Manitoba Municipal Board if the matter pertains to assessed value, or to the Court of King's Bench if the matter pertains to the application of exemptions from taxation. Should you wish to appeal, information on how to do so will be included with the Board's order. With respect to the hearing process, I'll confirm the points of appeal with your property to be addressed with each applicant following the swearing in. We will then have the assessor's testimony, followed by questions that the applicant may have, and then the applicant's testimony followed by questions. Each side will have an opportunity to summarize if they wish. Once all of the evidence about an application has been brought forward, the applicant may leave. The process will repeat for each item on the docket today. The session will close after all the applications have been heard, and the Board will deliberate in private and make its decisions. You will receive the Board's decision by registered mail as soon as possible. As information, all public hearings are live streamed, recorded, and will be part of the public record. We'll be hearing items 1, 2, 3, and 6 on our docket today. Ms. Caulfield, please affirm the assessor's and applicant's testimony.
Please stand. State your full name.
Abhishek Ratan.
You affirm that the evidence you're about to give at this hearing will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth.
Yes, I do.
Thank you. Mr. Applicant for 1345 Taylor, could you please state your full name?
Person Horsborough.
Do you affirm that the evidence you're about to give at this hearing will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, I do. Thank you.
Madam Chair, I'm going to put the other applicants into the waiting room now.
Yes, thank you.
All right.
Okay. Good afternoon, Mr. Ratan and Mr. Horsborough. Let's start with file number 25-577. This is 1345 Taylor Avenue. Mr. Horsborough, this is an appeal of the total annual rental value.
That's correct.
Okay, thank you. Mr. Assessor, then let's begin with your evidence, please.
Thank you, Madam Chair. File number 25-577. Roll year 2026, property address 1345 Taylor Avenue, business assessment ID 40726. Business name is Element Consulting Group. The total area for the premises is 22,096 square feet, with an overall ARV per square feet at $23.82, which brings the total ARV at $526,320. On the page one, we have some more details about the base ARV without the occupancy cost, which is at $21.12. And following that, we have the occupancy cost. The total of the occupancy cost comes at $2.70, which can be subdivided as for heat 0.73 cents, electricity 1.35, water 0.26, air conditioning at 36 cents. Since all the occupancy cost is included, the property is well equipped with these services. So there was a $59,659 occupancy cost. And I would like to recommend the board to confirm the 2026 ARV for $526,320. Moving on to page 2 and page 3, I have some rent comparables. On page 2, I have comparables from the areas at Pembina, Waverly, and Tyler. And on page 3, I have comparables strictly which are in Tyler Avenue Street. If we look at the Tyler comparables on page 3, our average the range for the rent comes from $17.75 to $27.50, which average around at $21.29. Moving on to page 4, I have the picture of the subject property. And at the end of my brief, I have the Board of Revision Realty Appeal Order, which was held in 2025. This on page 6, I have the board's conclusion, which says that on page 6, we have the final decision from the board, which says the decision is based on the evidence presented by the Assessment and Taxation Department. So keeping in line all the other things, we used the same comparables during that were used in the realty appeal. So again, to reconfirm, I would like the board to confirm the 2026 ARV at $526,320 for the subject property. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Mr. Horsborough, questions?
Thank you, Madam Chair. Just 1 or 2 questions for the assessor. Mr. Ratan, have you inspected the subject property?
No, I haven't inspected the property.
And then I do note you've included quite a few rental comparables on pages 2 and 3. Do you have a comparable in mind that you would say is most comparable to the subject property?
In the size wise, I would go, if we have to go by the location wise, I would look at the comparables on page 3. The subject property is for the size of 22,096 square feet, which only the closest comparable would be at 1420 Tyler, which is unit 1400.
Okay, so just to confirm, you would say that 1420 Taylor, it looks like it's noted as comp 12, that would be most similar?
Most accurate for the size wise, yes.
Okay. And that rent rate, just confirming that's $17.75 a square foot, is that correct?
That's good.
Okay, thank you. And then the rent applied, the $21.12 per square foot, is that a model derived rental rate?
That is a model derived.
Okay, thank you very much. No further questions.
Thank you. Mr. Arnell, questions?
No, just confirmation. You said the comp on the 3rd page, the 1420 Taylor was the most.
Yes, sir. If we look at the size wise, yes, that would be the lowest one. Yes, that is correct.
Okay, that's all I had. Thank you.
Thank you. Ms. Duncan?
No questions, thank you.
Okay, I have a couple questions. You did cite the realty decision, is that property, I guess what I want to know is this business premise that entire property that was under appeal, or is it just a portion of the property?
I top of the mind, I wouldn't be able to confirm that. I guess there are different businesses in this property. I haven't got a chance to inspect the property. So
Okay, so there's more than one, this is one of the businesses operating within that larger realty role?
I would assume so, yes.
Okay, so the rent used, the model rent used of 2112, that's a blended rent from all business premises there, or all premises?
So this rent would be specifically for this premises ID.
So the 2112 was used in the model workup for the realty for this premise.
Yes, please.
You're confirming that. Okay. Now I'm looking just at your comparables, and I see that a lot of them are quite small. So the rents are quite variable, actually. But does economies of scale have anything to do with this, especially on the Taylor comps? We're seeing, a premise of 1,800, 1,900 square feet for $25. Everything small seems to be in the higher range. Does it make a difference as to size?
Yes, so like economics of scale play a major role in this. So the smaller the size, the higher the rent rate would be. The larger
Okay.
size, they will rent for a lower space. It has been the trend. It has been.
Okay. So did you take a look at this, sort of eliminating those smaller ones, or no, just the overall?
No, we just looked at the overall at the moment.
Okay. Okay. Okay, I don't have any other questions for you then. Thank you very much. Mr. Horsborough, your evidence, please.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I should also make the panel aware that I've prepared rebuttal for the assessor's evidence as well.
Okay, we'll hear that after you're done with after your main evidence has been presented and after we've done questions, okay?
Okay. Thank you, Madam Chair. So yeah, as previously alluded to, this is file number 25577, the business assessment for 1345 Taylor Avenue. If the board will follow me to page 3 of our evidence disclosure. Madam Chair, I think I might be able to answer maybe one of the questions you had for the assessor. So this property is owner occupied. The entirety of the property is used and occupied by one company.
Okay, thank you.
So the assessed rental value amounts to $526,320. M&P has valued the subject property, and we have determined an appropriate rental value of $446,340. And respectfully, M&P would ask the board to revise the business assessment and correct it to that value. So moving on to page 4 of the evidence disclosure. As we saw previously, this is the business assessment with the base rent and then occupancy costs as well. And the city has applied a model-derived rental rate of $21.12 that does appear to be somewhat skewed by smaller commercial rental units, which of course command a higher rental rate on a per square foot basis. If the board will follow me to page 5, this is M&P's valuation of the annual rental value for the subject property. We have determined that an appropriate market-supported rental rate would be $17.50 per square foot, which would result in an annual base rent of $386,680. And the rest of the occupancy costs, including heat, hydro, water, and air conditioning, are accepted by the applicant. This arrives with these factors calculated, we arrive at an annual rental value of $446,340. The board will follow me now onto page 6. Just provided aerial view and map showing where the property is located. And then if the board will follow me onto page 7, I provided some exterior photographs of the subject property. And then moving on to page 8, interior photographs of the subject property. I inspected the property. That would have been back in the fall. Invited the assessor from the realty appeal. Unfortunately, he was not able to join me for the inspection, but we are, of course, fully open and willing to accommodate an inspection by the city assessor should they like to look at the property. These photos are continue through to page 10 and 11, just showing the office space of the property. The property was renovated in recent years, and based on our inspection of the property, we would consider it to be a Class B suburban office property. Photos continue through page 12, and then on page 13, I have provided a discussion as to the rental rate. So M&P has looked at a number of different market rents, leases that exist in the surrounding neighborhood. And we have determined that for properties such as the subject, the rental rates do range from $15 a square foot to $21 a square foot. Moving on to page 14, you will see, and you might note that some of these rental comparables are also included in the assessor's brief. And we have done our best to look at larger properties with a more similar square footage. While admittedly properties of this size, single tenant, are relatively rare. But certainly looking at the few properties that are larger than 10,000 square feet, a rental rate of $17.50 per square foot does fall in line with the market. If the board will follow me to page 15, I've just provided a little bit more of an analysis here. So we did look at over 200,000 square feet of commercial comparable properties, an average rent of $17.84, and a median rental rate of $17.92 across those properties. So certainly the model-derived assessed rental rate of $21.12 per square foot does appear to be overstated when reviewing similar properties in the market. Now, if the board will follow me onto page 16, I've also provided photos of some of these comparable properties, just so that you have a bit of a visual as to what some of these comparables look like. And then if the board, if you have a minute to look through those photos, provided a conclusion on page 21. Again, requesting that the board correct this assessment and revise the rental rate to $17.50 per square foot for a total annual rental value of $446,340. And with that, I would welcome any questions. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Mr. Rattan, questions for the applicant?
No, I don't have any this time.
Okay, thank you. Ms. Duncan?
No questions, thank you.
Mr. Arnell?
No questions, thanks.
Thank you. So just going over what you said, Mr. Horsborough, you isolated the larger 10,000 plus square foot properties. Are there any in here that are not included in the assessor's evidence, or are all of these also in the assessor's evidence?
Sorry, bear with me for 1 second. My PDF software has chosen to freeze itself.
Technical issues abound.
Yeah, it's the new year, I suppose. Oh, here we go. It's reloaded. 1 moment, please.
Sorry, I can't just look quickly enough to scan it for myself.
Yeah. I believe actually we've used pretty well all the same. Yes, yeah, if we look at Wilson Place, Osborne, Waverly, I do think that the city has also used those properties.
Okay. Yeah.
So I wouldn't say we have any different market evidence. Certainly in our analysis of the property, certainly a 2,000 square foot rental unit is going to command a higher per square foot rent. So certainly when we're analyzing these properties and looking at properties of this size, of course, they're not going to command rental rates in the lower or mid 20s.
One of your rents looked pretty old from 2015.
1345 Waverly. Yes, I think
Yeah.
that would be our oldest one there.
Yeah, that one unit, yeah. Okay. It's also, oh, I see. And then 1345 Waverly, Unit 302. It's a fairly small one again. With Taylor and couple of the Taylor ones fairly small at the bottom.
Yes, there were a couple. The 1530 Taylor I included just because I do believe that's the neighboring property. So,
Okay.
although that is it's a bit of a unique property, that's if I'm remembering correctly, the 1530.
It looks, do you have a picture of it?
I believe I do. If we go to,
Oh, at the back, yeah. Page 20.
yes,
There's more than one premise within it.
yes, 1530. It's a bit of a, I wouldn't, it looks a bit like a strip mall, but it's not a retail plaza as much of it's an office type plaza.
Mhm. Okay. Okay, thank you. I have no other questions. You indicated you had rebuttal evidence.
I do, yes.
Okay, just bear with us so Ms. Caulfield can distribute it.
It should be in your SharePoint folder,
Okay.
and I have emailed it to you.
I guess I have to refresh. Yeah, it's at the very bottom in my view.
I
Okay.
don't provide printing copies.
Can I use my cell phone now?
Sure. Yeah, I don't have a problem. Can you access your email from work?
Yeah. Oh, just kidding. Awesome.
Are you ready, Mr. Rattan?
Can I just get one more minute?
Okay, yeah, let us know.
Yes, I'm good.
Okay, thank you. Mr. Horsborough, take us through your rebuttal, please.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I'll do my best to keep it brief. There were just a couple of items that I wanted to touch on. So if the board will follow me, we can start on page 4, noted on the bottom right-hand corner. So there are a couple of issues with mass assessment, model-derived valuation of real estate. So as we could see in the assessor's evidence, they're looking at quite a few properties that are nearby, but they aren't all actually that comparable. So I did want to provide rebuttal just to address some of these factors. So if we can move on here to the next page here, page 5. I really just wanted to touch base on a couple of the properties and just clarify a few things. So 865 Waverly, for example, it'd be considered a Class A suburban office property, with one of the tenants being Wellington Altus. So Wellington Altus is one of the premier wealth management firms in Winnipeg, multi-billion under asset management. So they, of course, are willing to pay a premium to have a very nice office to impress their multimillionaire clients who they want to manage their money. Secondly, the dental corporation there that is referenced by the assessor, dental services, healthcare services, it's a bit of a different asset type as opposed to just a standard office building. So again, we don't feel that those are comparable. As well as the units being smaller, looking at some of the assessor's comparables in the 1,000 to 3,000 square foot range, these properties really aren't comparable. 1355 Taylor, for example, This is one of only 5 buildings in Manitoba that has a BOMA Best Gold certification and would be considered a Class A property as well, which again wouldn't be comparable to the subject. I also wanted to note that 1420 Taylor, Unit 200, referenced by the assessor, it does list the tenant being Essene Glass Inc. Based on our research, no such company exists in Manitoba. I'm not sure if this was an error or how the city came up with this information, but based on all the research we were able to do, they were never the tenant in that property, so I'm not sure how reliable that data is. And really, those were just the main key points I wanted to make. Again, just the reality of mass assessment, and when you're looking at the data, of course, it gets skewed by the smaller units, which of course pay a higher rental rate on a square foot basis. This property being so large, there's no way it would achieve such a high rental rate as what has been assessed. And again, respectfully, I would ask that the board correct this and revise the business assessment. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Mr. Horsborough. Mr. Rattan, questions on the rebuttal?
No, I do not have any.
Thank you. Mr. Arnell?
I'd like to know what BOMA Best is.
So BOMA is the Building Owners and Managers Association. So they have a program where if you renovate properties to certain standards, whether they're environmental, just the quality of finishes, you can achieve a certification. So it's a Building Owners and Managers Association. So the gold standard, I guess, yeah, to put it as simply as possible, if they get the gold certification, it's essentially the gold standard for an office building. So the best of the best.
Okay, thank you. That's all I have.
Ms. Duncan?
Yeah, just in regards to your reference to 1420 Taylor, I see there is a company, obviously previously 24/7 in touch in Corp. That is the company that was there at the time. Is that your understanding then? If it's not the one that the city said, it's this one?
Well, I guess, yes, that's correct. But for the unit 200, if we were to look at the city evidence, bear with me for just a moment here. If we're looking at comparable number 13 on page 3, Essene Glass Inc. So that, as far as we were able to determine, no such tenant ever existed there.
Okay, so the tenant that is there though, or was there, was 24/7
Oh, sorry, yes.
in Corp.
Yes.
Okay, thank you. No other questions, thanks.
Okay, thank you. And I have no other questions also. Mr. Rattan, just confirming you do not have rebuttal evidence?
No, I do not have any.
Okay, then that will conclude item number 1. So thank you very much, Mr. Horsborough and Mr. Rattan, for your presentations on this item.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Thank you to the panel members, and thank you, Mr. Rattan.
Thank you.
Welcome back, Madam Applicant. Are you there?
Hello.
Hello.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you very much. And before we begin, Ms. Applicant, we will get you sworn in, please.
Actually, before you do that, I don't think that's really necessary. And
Actually, it is necessary under our
Okay.
process. That's okay.
okay.
Thank you.
Can you please state your full name?
Monica Sholowa.
You affirm that the evidence you are about to give at this hearing will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth.
Yes, I do.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Okay, let's move on then to item number 2. This is BA or file number 25-578. Mr. Rattan, you may begin, please.
Madam Chair, I received an email from the board that this property is to be adjourned.
Okay, is that correct, Ms.?
No, that it was the property on Corridon.
Correct.
We're not dealing with Corridon, we're dealing with 333 Main Street.
All right. So in regards to this property, Madam Chair, I received a recommendation from the assessor,
Right.
which I have accepted.
Okay, so we will let the assessor has to follow a process. He will introduce the property and then he will state that recommendation. Okay?
Sounds good. Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, thank you, Madam Chair. File number 25-570, roll number, it's 18759. I made a mistake actually. So file number 25-578. The property roll number is 28764. Assessment year is 2026. Property address 333 Main Street. There was a previous value to this file, but then we made some adjustments, and the new value is 0. So there is no value for this property yet.
Okay,
So I asked the board to confirm the 2026 assessment value at 0 for this property.
okay, and that is what is on the roll now, correct?
Yes,
0?
it is 0.
Okay.
Yes,
Okay. And, okay, Ms. Sholawa, you're fine with that, obviously.
Yes. Thank you.
Okay. Mr. Arnell, questions?
No, none, thanks.
Okay, Ms. Duncan?
So for calculation purposes, it's just 0, 0, 0.
That is correct.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, and can you tell us why it's 0, Mr. Rattan?
So the applicant actually reached out to our office for looking at the office spaces. They are managing, I guess, 3 or more properties in Winnipeg, and we found out during our inspections they do not occupy the space, so we readjusted their this parameters and brought the assessment at 0 value.
Okay, thank you.
The time frame was kind of like squeaky because there was Christmas break going on, so the communication couldn't be done properly. So it took a while to do it.
Okay, thank you so much for that. And Ms. Sholawa, do you have anything more to add with respect to 333 Main Street?
No, Madam Chair.
Okay, thank you. That concludes item number 2. So we will move now to item number 3. This is file number 25-579, 191 Pioneer Avenue. Mr. Rattan.
Thank you. Thank you, Madam Chair. File number 25-579, roll number 24238. Roll year is 2026. Property address 191 Pioneer Avenue. We recommended and adjusted the annual rental value from $1,778,000, $580 to $1,057,080. The huge change in this reduction was because of the area change. Previously, they were accounted for 154,000 square feet, but now they are only occupying space of 59,755 square feet. And this change again was brought up by the applicant, and while making this changes, it took us a while. Therefore, the communication couldn't be done properly. These changes were made effective Jan 1, 2025.
Okay, thank you. Ms. Sholawa, questions?
No, had discussions with the assessor and we'll accept his recommendation.
Okay, so you're accepting the annual rental value of $1,057,080?
I believe it was 79, if I'm not mistaken, but just
It
Yes.
rounds to the
oh,
nearest.
it rounds. Okay,
Yeah.
sounds good. Okay,
Yeah,
okay, sure.
Okay, thank you. Ms. Duncan? Questions?
No questions, thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Arnell?
No questions, thanks.
Okay, Mr. Rattan, what was that original square feet?
154,000, 100,543, so 153,543 square feet.
Okay, that was the original, and then you brought it down to 59,755.
Yes, that's
Okay,
correct.
and what number actually went out on the roll?
Originally, it went, so the original, do you mean the original assessment that went out on the road?
Yes, I mean, you're saying to confirm the ARV of 1 million. I
Yes.
have on the agenda that it was a recommendation to reduce. But I'm just trying to understand, it will help me. What actually went out on the roll?
So the actual number that went out on the roll was $1,778,580. That
Okay.
went out of the roll, and then we are bringing it down to the new number now.
Okay, so this is a recommendation to reduce based on information brought to you by the applicant,
Yes.
right? Okay, thank you so much for that. Ms. Sholwa, you indicated you accepted that recommendation.
That is correct.
Do you have anything more to add with respect to this property?
No, I don't. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much for that. That concludes item number 3. So you're good to go.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Enjoy your afternoon.
Hello, Mr. Reimer, welcome back.
Okay, before we begin, Mr. Reimer, we will just ask you to be sworn in.
Certainly.
Please state your full name.
Kerry Reimer.
Do you affirm that the evidence you're about to give at this hearing will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Mr. Rattan, you can begin with your evidence for file number 25-593. This is 240 Graham Avenue, Unit 800.
Thank you, Madam Chair. File number 25-593, roll year 2026. Property address 800-240 Graham Avenue, business assessment ID 20477. The total area for this premise is 2,754 square feet, with an overall ARV per square feet at $23.03, which brings the total ARV at $63,420. If we remove the occupancy cost for this unit, the base ARV comes at $20.32. And my recommendation to the board would be to reduce the ARV from $63,420 to $54,250. On page 2 and 3, I have the picture of the subject property. And on page 4, I have the workup presented for the board and the panel member and I would like to go over it. The
Yeah,
base,
please. Yeah.
So on the left hand side is the assessment value that went on the roll. So the premise area is 2,754 square feet with a table rent of $20.32, which brings it at $55,961. And then we applied our occupancy cost again on the premise area, which totals at $7,436. The potential rent comes at $63,397, and again rounding it up brings at $63,420. On the right hand side of the same page, I made my adjustment. That is the premise area 2754 at the rate of $17, brings it at $46818. Applying the occupancy cost, it remains the same, which is $7,436. And the potential rent comes at $54,254, and rounding it downwards brings it at $54,250. This would be my recommendation. And on page 5, I have some comparables which justify my recommendation. I have four rent comparables ranging in the size from 2,200 to 3,000, and my average rent comes at $17.13. So just to confirm, I will ask the board to reduce the value from $63,420 to $54,250. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Mr. Reimer, we have a recommendation to reduce to $54,250. Do you accept?
So yes, with just a quick caveat, my rounding is slightly different. I have 54,240,
Mhm.
but I mean, so certainly, I would accept Mr. Ratan's recommendation, and just I guess my question would be whether the rounding should be to the 240 instead of the 250. But either way, I'm satisfied with that.
Okay, Mr. Rattan, the convention is typically that it's divisible by 12. Is the 54,250 divisible by 12?
I can double check once again. Until unless I get to check. No, 54,240 would be the right number.
240? Okay. So your recommendation is 54,240 then?
Yes, that is good.
Okay. Okay, thank you, Mr. Reimer and Mr. Rattan. Ms. Duncan, questions?
No questions, thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Arnell?
No questions, thanks.
Thank you. And I have no questions either. So that will conclude item number 6. So thank you very much, Mr. Rattan and Mr. Reimer.
Thank you all. Happy New
Thank
Year.
you.
Thank you.
And let me just get back to our document here. Okay, so with that, we've now heard all items scheduled, and this hearing is now adjourned. So thank you very much, everyone.